the previous class, we have seen all these topics like what is image segmentation, introduction and classification of image segmentation algorithms, and detection of discontinuities. And we have seen three types of discontinuities, that is isolated point discontinuity and line discontinuities and edge discontinuities. And after completion of this one, we have seen what is edge detection and what are the stages that are involved in edge detection and what are the different types of edge detectors. So these are the different types of edge detectors. That is based on the derivation based. We have first order derivative and second order derivative. And in case of this first order derivative, we have this Roberts operator, Prewitt operator, and Sobel operator. And in case of second order derivative, we have this Laplacian operator. And in the Gaussian based, we have this Laplacian of Gaussian, LOG operator, and gradient of Gaussian, that is GOG operator. So in the today's class, we will discuss about this first order edge detection operators. So in case of these types of edge detectors, we have different types of edge detectors. In that, I am discussing about this first order edge detection operators. So this is your derivative, like there is a change in the intensity values, like from black it is going to white color. So I can say that this is the intensity value, that is 0, and this is 255. So there is a sudden intensity that is happened over here, then I can say there is a edge that can be present over here. And in case of this intensity profile, we will write like this: from 0 it is suddenly changing to this 1, and after this one, after some point again it is changed to 0. So this is your intensity profile. And in case of this first derivative, we will try to find out, in case of this first derivative, wherever this 0 to 255 or something 0 to 1 happened, at that time I will consider this as a positive edge. So I will write like this: this is your positive edge. And there, wherever we have this 255 to it is again changing to 0, then I will consider it as negative edge. So I will indicate by using this one. In case of this first order derivatives, we will try to find out this local maxima. This is your maximum point and this is your minimum point. So these are we will consider as edges. So here it is 255 to 0. So this is negative. So that's why I am writing in this manner. And after this one, this is 0 to 254. I am writing a positive edge. So in case of this, what is the meaning of this one is, in case of this first derivatives, I will try to find out this local maximum and local minimum points, which are used to represent the edges. But we can go to the second derivative also. In case of the second derivative operators, again we will try to apply the derivative for this one. So here 0 to, again it is changed to positive. So I can say it is a positive edge. So I will indicate by using this positive edge. And here from 255 it is again changed to 0. So this is negative edge. So I will try to write this negative. So wherever this 0 crossing happened, we will try to find out these 0 crossings, like this positive and again it is changed to negative. This is called 0 crossing. And in case of this one, this is your this is your 0 to 255. This is in the negative direction. So I will write like this, and I will try to write like this. So here what is the meaning of this one? In case of this first derivative, I will try to find out this maximum and minimum points which are used to indicate the edges. But in case of second derivative, I will try to find out these 0 crossings which are used to indicate the edges. So in case of second derivatives, we will get very good number of edges, like very effective edges we will find out by using the second order derivatives. So here edges are where change occurs. So this change can be occurred. The change can be indicated by using the derivative. So if in case of this first order derivative, I will find out only first derivation. So here local maxima and minimum are used for first derivative in the image. This is also called as gradient methods. But in case of second order derivative, we will try to find out these 0 crossings within the second derivative of the image. So which is called 0 crossing methods, which is also called as Laplacian methods. So Laplacian operator, these are called gradient operators and these are called Laplacian operators. So in case of this intermediate level, if you have seen, if you have remembered about this calculus, then in case of this 1D signal, we will try to find out this if it is a f of x. If it is a 1D signal, I will try to indicate by using this f of x, and if it is 2D signal, I will try to write f of x comma y. So in case of this one f of x, I will try to find out the derivative. Then the formula is limit h to 0 f of x plus h minus f of x by h. So this is the formula to find out the derivative. So, but if I am considering this as a small difference value, h is 1, then the difference is like x plus 1 minus f of x. So, if I am considering that difference is very small, then I will try to indicate this differentiation by using this formula. So, here we can call this as forward difference and backward difference. Like if it is forward difference, like we have 3 points. we will try to assume like this is whenever I am taking a 1D signal, I am considering only 1D signal, then it is your f of x, and this is your f of x plus 1 in the next pixel, and this is your f of x minus 1. If I am considering 2D signal, that is your image. If you are considering this 2D signal or image, then you have to consider both in x direction and y direction. So this is your f of xy, then this is your f of x plus 1 comma y, and this is your f of x minus 1 comma y. And in the y direction, this is your f x comma y plus 1, and this is your f of x comma y minus 1. So whenever we are considering 2D signal, we will 2D signal is nothing but that is your image format. We will consider x y. But in case of this 1D signal like f of x only, then I will try to find out. I will take the points like this is your f of x, and whatever the next point is there, that is your f of x plus y, and I'm backward, I will take it as f of x minus 1. Then what is this forward difference is nothing but the difference between these two, forward direction. This is in the forward direction. So what is the difference? I will try to find out, that is f of x plus 1 minus f of x. From this I am differentiating this one. This is called df by dx. But in case of this backward, if whenever I consider this backward direction, then from this f of x I will try to minus this f of x minus 1. So that's why this is your backward difference. So this is your forward difference, and this is your backward difference. But if you want to find out the differentiation of differences, that is nothing but d square by dx square f of x. So I just want to find out the second derivative. Then what is this one is nothing but from this is the forward difference, and this is the backward difference. From this forward difference, I will try to negate this backward difference. That comes your differentiation of differentiations. That's why this is your forward difference. From forward difference, I just I am negating this backward difference. So that's why I will get f of x plus 1 minus f of x minus f of x minus f of x minus 1. So if you solve this one, then we will get f of x plus 1 minus f of x minus f of x plus f of x minus 1. So the minus f of x minus f of x, this is 2 f of x. So we will use this in the calculations, like in case of those operators, we will try to use these formulas. And this is your like first order, second order derivatives. If you represent this first order derivative differences in case of this operator format like mask or filter, then I will try to like this. I will try to write like this. This is your forward difference. This is your forward difference. So in case of this forward difference, this is your, I will consider this as f of x, and this is your f of x plus 1. Only forward difference means I will consider only these 2 points, so that I will get the difference as f of x plus 1 minus f of x. So if you represent this in this operator format, then I will get all the remaining are zeros, because I will consider only 1D signal, that is this is your f of x, and this is your f of x plus 1, and this is your f of x minus 1. So in case of this f of x plus 1, I will get this as, it has the coefficient of 1 positive, so that's why I will write 1. But for f of x it is minus 1, and f of x minus 1 we don't have anything, so that's why I will write the 0. So this is your operator that you are getting for the forward differentiation. And if you are considering this second order derivative, then the final is f of x plus 1 plus f of x minus 1 minus 2 f of x. So that's why if I represent in the operator format, then all the remaining are zeros, because we are considering only 1D signal. So we are getting this one, and this is f of x, so coefficient is minus 2, this minus 2, and f of x plus 1, the coefficient is 1, and f of x minus 1, the coefficient is 1. So 1 minus 2, 1. And this is your, if you want to find out the first order derivative, just if you are having these intensity values, if you are representing in this format image at any only, if you have the entire image, we will consider only 1D signal, like only at one point, then we will have different intensity values within the image. If I consider those intensity values, then what is the change in the intensity values is, from this intensity value I will differentiate this one, from this intensity values I will differentiate this one, from this intensity value I will differentiate this one. So that is your change derivatives, that is your first derivative, nothing but, if you are considering only one intensity values, then this is nothing but 4 minus 5, that you are getting minus 1, 3 minus 4, that is minus 1, 2 minus 3, minus 1, 1 minus 2, that is minus 1. Like this you are getting the first derivative. In case of second derivative, again you will apply this minus 1 minus 1, that is 0, minus 1 plus 1, minus 1 plus 1. So this is second order derivative. So like this we will try to find out the image intensities derivatives. So based on those derivative changes only, we will try to find out the edges. So this is your first order edge detection operators. So that local transitions among different image intensities constitute an edge. Therefore, what is the main objective of finding out edges over here is what is the intensity of that gradient. Okay, change gradient here is nothing but what is the differentiation is called gradient. So the differentiation intensity, based on that only I will try to find out whether that belongs to edge point or not. So edge detectors can be viewed as gradient calculators. So we will try to find out those gradient. Gradient is nothing but derivative with respect to x and derivative with respect to y, if I am considering it as an image. So gradient operator is represented like the derivation, that differentiation with respect to x and with respect to y. And after finding out this differentiation, I will try to find out the magnitude. If that magnitude is, what is the main purpose of this magnitude? What is the formula of this one is square root of gx square plus gy square. After you find out the intensity values, changes in the x direction and y direction, we will try to find out this magnitude. What is the purpose of this magnitude is it is used to find out the strength or contrast of the edge, and we will try to find out the direction by using this formula that is used to find out the edge direction. So these two are used, these are called gradient operators, like this magnitude and gradient direction, and also this differentiation. All these are called gradient operators. These gradient operators are used in case of this first order derivatives. So this is your gradient operator, like dou f by dou x and dou f by dou y, gradient of an image. And this gradient points to the direction of the most rapid change in the intensity. Like from this black color, it is gradually, not suddenly, gradually change to white. So I can say the direction is in the x direction. So this is that all the changes will be happened in the x direction. So there is a change in the x direction and there is no change in the y direction. So I am indicating using 0. And here there is a change in the y direction and there is no change in the x direction. So that's why 0 comma dou f by dou y. And if you consider this image, here the change happened in both direction, that is in the x direction and in the y direction. In the y direction the change has happened and the x direction changes have happened. So that is your gradient operator. So we will try to find out changes in the x direction, how those intensity values are changed in the x direction, how those intensity values are changed in the y direction. So once those changes are found out, those are called gradient of an image. Once this gradient of an image is found out, then we will try to find out this magnitude by using this formula and direction using this formula, which are used to know the strength of the edge and the direction of the edge. And this is your first order detection operator. Like if I am taking this, why I am using these formulas is to calculate the different types of operators. We will try to use this one. So if you are taking the backward difference, backward difference means we will consider I am not I can take this as 1 x minus 1, or I can change it as there is a small change in the x value, then I can say it is a del x. So what is the change in the x value is indicated by using this del x. So x minus and x, here we have the value x, and here in the backward direction I will try to take it as x minus del x. And if I am taking forward difference, this is your x, and the forward direction, that is x plus del x. And if I am taking the central difference, that is nothing but the difference between these 2 points is nothing but central difference. So here if we are taking this value as del x as very small, then in case of this forward difference, so forward difference is nothing but we are having this f of x, and this is your f of x plus 1. So what is the difference over here is, that is f of x plus 1 minus f of x. So this is indicated by using, if you are taking the same points, the f of x coefficient is minus 1 and f of x plus 1 coefficient is plus 1. So this is the operator that is used for forward difference. And in case of this backward difference, that is if you are considering this as f of x, and the exact in the x direction, what is the backward point is x minus 1. So whenever I am taking this backward difference, then I will get this f of x minus f of x minus 1. So now I will have minus 1 for this f of x minus 1 and plus 1 for this f of x. So that is minus 1 plus 1. So these are the two things. And in the first order edge detection operators, the three important operators which are used to find out the edges by using this first order derivation. So in case of this first order derivation, we will try to find out the gradient of the image, and after finding out the gradient of the image, we will try to find out the edges. That is the main motive in case of this first order detection. So in case of this first order edge detection, we will have three important operators. One is your Sobel operator, and the next one is Prewitt operator, and next is robot operator. So now we are considering this Sobel operator. So it provides both a differentiation and a smoothing effect. So both differentiations, what are the changes that are happened in the intensity values, and as well as it will try to find out the blurring effect. Sobel operator relies on the central differences. So it is mainly what is central difference is f of x and f of x plus 1 is there, and this is your f of x minus 1. Then I will try to find out the central difference. So central difference is nothing but the difference between both backward and forward. So that is nothing but forward minus backward, forward minus backward. So whenever we are considering this forward minus backward, then I will get in case of this forward, this is f of x plus 1 minus f of x, and in case of this backward, then we will have this f of x minus f of x minus 1. So now what is the final one is f of x plus 1 plus f of x minus 1 minus f of x minus f of x. So this is 2 f of x. So if I am writing this in the form of this operators, then I will try to, for f of x, what is the coefficient? Minus 2, and for f of x plus 1, this is plus 1, and f of x minus 1, this is minus 1. So we will use this operator for this mask. So I am directly writing this minus 1, minus 2, and minus, generally I will try to write this minus 1, minus 2, and this is plus 1. Okay, no issues. But what is the operator? That is, in case of the Sobel operator, we will give more weightage, more weight to the central pixel. That is your central differences. So what is the meaning of this central differences is, in case of this Sobel operator, there is a slight difference between Prewitt operator and Sobel operator. In case of Prewitt operator, this will be minus 1, 0, something, some values will be there. But in case of this Sobel operator, we will give more weightage to the central pixels. So that's why we are getting minus 2, 0. What is this one is, we will try to write minus 1, minus 2, minus 1, and 1, 2, 1. So this is your gx. So this is your the change which is used to find out the change in the x direction. The operator is which is used is minus 1, 2, minus 1, 0, 0, 0, 1, 2, 1. And in case of, if you want to find out the change in the y direction, the operator that is used is minus 1, minus 2, minus 1. I am writing in the y direction, and I am writing this in the x direction. So if I am these two are used to find out the edges in both x direction and y direction. That is which is used to find out the gradient. So the gradient to find in the x direction using this Sobel operator is this. We are using this filter or mask. And if you want to find out the gradient in the y direction, we will try to use this mask. And if you want to find out edges, if you want to find out the edges, then I will try to place this edge. In case of these edges, I will try to place this more weight. So that's why minus 2, 2 I will place in the diagonal side, and minus 2, 2 in the diagonal sides, because if I just want to detect these edges in the diagonal. And I can say this is used to detect the edges in the vertical direction, I can say, because the more weightage is given to this central pixel in the y direction. So that is minus, this is used to find out the edges in the y direction, and this is used to find out the edges in the x direction. And if I am taking this, if I am writing this by using this formula, if I am considering this as Z1, Z2, Z3, and this is your Z4, Z5, Z6, and this is your Z7, Z8, Z9, then if you write in the formula, then I will try to write like Z7 plus 2Z8, because because in case of this gx, that is dou f by dou x, I will try to write from this one first. I will try to I will try to take these points and the negation of this one. So that is nothing but third row minus first row. That is your this one. So Z7 plus 2Z8 plus, otherwise I can directly, if you substitute this one, in case of this one, this is your Z7 and this is 2Z8 plus Z9, and minus all will be zeros, and only Z1, 2Z2 and Z3. So this will be getting. And in case of this gy, that is derivation with respect to y direction, then I will get Z3 plus 2Z6 plus Z9 minus Z1 plus 2Z4 minus plus Z7. Just I am multiplying with this one. So this is after finding out this gx and gy values, then I will try to find out this magnitude. Magnitude formula is square root of gx square plus gy square, or otherwise if you take this in case of this one, it is exactly equivalent to mod gx plus mod gy. It is similar to this value. So that's why I will try to find out the magnitude. Once this magnitude is found out, so I will try to show how this Sobel operator is calculated. Like Sobel filter has two kernels, because I am using both in the x direction and y direction. One of them is in the x direction and other is in the y direction. These two kernels shall be convolved with the image. So whatever the kernels, whatever the kernels are mask or filter, I can call any way. So this whatever the Sobel x, that is your gx, and Sobel y, that is your gy, these will be convolved with the original image, and after finding out convolving with the original image, I will try to find out the adjust points. So this is the thing that we will use in the Sobel operators. By using this Sobel operator, whatever we are having this -1, -2, -1, 0, 0, 0, and +1, +2, +1, and in case of this one -1, -2, -1, 0, 0, 0, and +1, +2, +1. So these two operators I will try to convolve. So convolve is nothing but whatever the image that is there, on this image I will try to place this particular filter, and after applying that filter I will try to find out whether that particular, what are the edge points in that particular, and again I will try to convolve with the second, after second row, second I will just go skip, I will go to the next one, next row, then next column, or I can say next column, and I will try to convolve with this operator. I will try to find out in both gx, that is x direction, and I will try to convolve in gy direction. I will try to find out, after convolving I will try to find out the edges. So this is the process involved in the Sobel operator. And here in case of this Sobel operator we will apply this Gaussian filter. So Gaussian, that's why it is doing both differentiation and smoothing. So the Gaussian filter play a vital role in the entire process. Though the fundamental idea behind this Gaussian filter is the center having more weight than the rest. So here in case of this one I will try to give more weightage to the center. So 1 to 1, and this is if you are taking Sobel x, this is just Gaussian operator. This is the Gaussian operator. So before applying the differentiation, I will try to use this Gaussian operator in case of Sobel operator. So in case of this Gaussian operator, what is the general idea is giving more weightage to the central pixel. So that's why 1 to 1 and 1 to 1. So after giving this weightage, this is the x derivative. So if you want to find out this x derivative, then you can use this f of x and f of x plus 1, and this is your f of x minus 1. So after doing this x derivative, there is a change in the x direction. So I can indicate by using this 1, 0, minus 1. So after this one, if you multiply this one, you are getting this Sobel x. And in case of y derivative, if you multiply with this 1D Gaussian filter, then you will get this Sobel y. So these are the Sobel x and Sobel y that we have already discussed. These operators we will try to use, and we will try to convolve with the image. Once you convolve with the image, then I will try to find out the edges. So we will use with the example, like this is your image, and once this image is there, so I will try to convolve with both x and y over the input image, which shall be enabled to us to calculate the value of the 1 pixel at a time. So after convolving this one, I will get only 1 pixel, that is we will concentrate more on the central. So then the shift happens and move to the move has to be made towards the right. So once I will consider only this 3 by 3 matrix, because as Sobel x is 3 by 3, I will try to convolve with the 3 by 3 part of the image, and after completion of this one, again I will try to shift that to the right side, and after entire image is over in the right direction or x direction, I will try to do one step down, and I will again repeat this process. So this process is repeated, and at each point we will try to change the central pixel. So similar process followed by the row shifting from top to bottom, both will be happened. Remember, for column is left to right, h overing, whereas for rows it is top to bottom. So this is done by using this gx and gy. So if I am applying this, if I am taking the image which is of 5 by 4, generally in the real-time cases the image will be of more size, but here I am taking this as 5 by 4 image. So here I am convolving with the gx operator, and after this one I will convolve with gy operator. So what is this one? First I will convolve with this Sobel operator. So Sobel x, if I am doing with this one, I am considering this as 1, 0, minus 1. These are in the red color, which are nothing but Sobel x operator is applied over here. And what are the intensity values are like 100, 100, 50, 100, 100. So these are the image intensity values. Here we have to see only up to this part only, this part only. So this here 100. So we will try to multiply this one. So 1 into 100 plus 0 into 100 minus 1 into 50. Like this, if you are doing, I will get the gx value as 200. In the same manner, I will apply this Sobel y operator. So Sobel y operator. So for same number of this 3 by 3 part of the image, I will apply both x value to find out Sobel x value, so which is used to find out the gx. Once the gx is find out, then I will apply this Sobel y, which is used to find out gy. Once these two gx and gy have computed, these are called gradients of the image. only for the particular part, that is 3 by 3 part only, and I will, after completion of this one, I will again move to the next three again. After completion of this one, again I will move down. Like this I will do the process. So only for one part I will find out both gx and gy, and once those gx and gy values are find out, I will try to find out this gx. This is your magnitude. So what is the magnitude formula? Square root of gx square plus gy square. Once this magnitude is find out, then I will compare this magnitude with the threshold value. That there is a process called thresholding is there, that we will discuss in the coming classes. So principle of thresholding. So after finding out this threshold value, I will compare this magnitude with the threshold value. If it is greater than, we will define some criteria, like if it is greater than the threshold value, they will consider that point as edge point. Otherwise I won't consider it as edge point. So this is your thing. So if this is your input image, after applying this gradient magnitude for the Sobel operator, by using the Sobel operator, I will try to find out this gx gy. So after for each point I will try to find out. So first I will convolve on this particular image with this Sobel operator in the x direction. After this one, like this I will do, and after doing this one I will try to find out gx and gy. For only this particular part I will try to find out gx and gy, and I will find out gx square plus gy square. Once this gx square, this magnitude is find out, then I will try to compare this with the threshold. If it is greater than threshold, I will consider it as edge point. And after this one I will find out the direction by using this tan inverse formula, that is gy by gx. Once this find out, then I will consider the edge direction. This is in this direction and this is in this direction. Like after applying on the input image, if I apply this Sobel operator, I will get this gradient magnitude or gradient image. Once this gradient image is applied, then I will consider this threshold. I will consider this threshold to find out the actual edges. So by using this input image, if I apply this Sobel operator, I will try to find out these edges. Hope clear, ma'am? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Right. Next, Prewitt operator. This is the second operator, that is Prewitt operator. So there is a slight difference between Sobel operator and a Prewitt operator. In case of this Prewitt operator, here we will consider the central differences of the neighboring pixels. This difference can be differentiated by difference can be represented mathematically. So what is the main difference is, like here in case of this Sobel operator, we are giving more weightage to the central pixel, but here we are giving the equal weightage, like minus. In case of Sobel operator, we have -2 and 2, but in case of this Prewitt operator, we have -1 and 1 only. We don't have this 2. Why? Because we are taking like this is your change in the x direction. That is nothing but if I am taking the 2D signal, then what is the central difference? Okay, what is the central difference is difference between these two formulas, two values. That is this is your f of x minus 1 and this is your f of x, and this is your f of x plus 1. So now I will try to find out the central difference, that is nothing but f of x plus 1 minus f of x minus 1. This is your central pixel. This is there is a slight difference between this one. Differentiation. Second differentiation is different and central difference is different. In case of second differentiation, then I will try to find out both forward difference minus backward difference. That is your second order derivative. But here I am considering central difference. Forward difference means f of x plus 1 minus f of x, and backward difference is f of x minus f of x minus 1. But this is your central difference. This is your central difference. So here in case of central difference, I am getting this f of x. There is no f of x term, so that's why the value is 0. And f of x plus 1, I have this plus 1, and for f of x minus 1, I have this minus 1 coefficient. So I will try to use this mask. Central difference is obtained by the mask -1, 0, plus 1. So I will try to use this one. So that's why in case of gx, I will try to use -1, 0, 1, -1, 0, 1, -1, 0, 1 in the x direction. So because in the image, I will consider this as x direction and this is y direction. So -1, 0, 1, -1, 0, 1, because I am getting -1, 0, 1 in the central difference. So this is your central difference. In case of central difference, I will try to find out the difference between f of x plus 1 and f of x minus 1. So after finding out this central difference, there is no f of x term. So that's why the coefficient of f of x term is 0, and this is coefficient for the x plus 1. So that is plus 1, and this is minus 1. So based on this one only, I will try to find out this gx is nothing but -1, 0, 1 in the x direction, and gy is nothing but -0, 1 in the y direction. So these are the operators which are used to find out edges using this Prewitt operator or Prewitt mechanism. So this is your in case of Sobel operator, I will what is the main difference is -2, 2, and here -2, 2, because in case of Sobel operator we will use this Gaussian filter. In Gaussian filters there is a more weightage to the central pixel, or more weightage will be given to the central, so that's why we are getting 2 value in case of this Sobel operator, but in case of Prewitt operator we will get only -1. Okay, and if you are applying this formula, then same thing, here we have Z7, Z8, because this is Z1, Z2, Z3, and this is your Z4, Z5, Z6, Z7, Z8, Z9. So after this one, if I am applying GX, then Z7 plus Z8 plus Z9 minus Z1, Z2, Z3. And in case of Y direction, that is nothing but Z3, Z6, Z9 minus Z1, Z4, Z7. So after finding out this GX and GY, again same, we will try to find out the magnitude. If that magnitude value is greater than that threshold value, then I consider it as a edge point. So Prewitt edge operator is similar to Sobel edge operator, but there is a minor change. The change is nothing but Sobel operator gives weights to the point which is lying closer to the xy. So that is nothing but 2 weightage will be given. In Prewitt operator, it is similar to Sobel operator and is used for detecting vertical and horizontal edges in the image. It provides us 2 masks, one for detecting edges in the horizontal direction, and another is used to find out the edges in the vertical direction. So these are the 2 filters we are using. And if I apply this Prewitt gradient, so first I will take this image, input image. After applying this Prewitt operator, so that is -1 0 plus 1, -1 0 plus 1, and -1 0 plus 1, and -1 0 plus 1, -1 0 plus 1, -1 0 plus 1. So if I am applying this both in the x direction and y direction, I will get this gradient image. Once this gradient is found out, I will apply this threshold to find out the real edges. And this is the this differential is indicated by using this one. This is your Prewitt mask operator, in which we are having this -1 0 -1, -1 0 plus 1, -1 0 plus 1, -1 0 plus 1. But in case of this one, -1 0 plus 1, -1 0 plus 1, but only thing is in the central we will have -2 0 2, and here also -1 1, but here it is -2 0 2. So this is your Sobel operator and Prewitt operator. And the last operator is this robot operator in case of first order derivative. This robot operator mainly are derivatives with respect to the diagonal elements. So the main purpose of this robot operator is used to give more importance to the diagonal elements, to find out the diagonal elements. So these are also known as cross gradient operators, or these are based on the cross diagonal differences. So here we will try to use only these 4 values only in case of this robot mask, because in case of Sobel operator and Prewitt operator we are considering 3 by 3 matrix, but in case of this robot operator we will try to use this 2 by 2 matrix. In case we don't consider the remaining points, we won't consider this remaining points. Whatever we are having this remaining, we won't consider, only the diagonal values. We means like Z1, Z2, Z3, Z4, Z5, Z6, Z7. So this is your Z4, this is your Z5, this is your Z6, and this is your Z7. And like this, we will consider only those points. So that is in case of this robot operator. So yeah, this is your generic gradient based algorithm. How you will find out this edges by using this gradient algorithm. What is this one is, first we will read the image, and after this one we will try to smooth it by applying the Gaussian filter. In case of Sobel operator we will try to smooth it. Once that is done, we will convolve the image with the differentiation operator, that is in the x direction, that is Sobel x, Sobel y, or Prewitt x, Prewitt y, or robot x, robot y, and I will convolve the image with the y direction. Once that is done, then that is nothing but f into g of gx. So this is convolvation operation will be indicated by using this star operation. So this is after convolving within the x direction, you will get this modified changes, and I will do in the y direction, then I will get this modified pixels. Then after that one, I will try to find out the edge magnitude and edge orientation. This true will be find out. So gx gy, after finding out this gx gy, I will try to find out this magnitude and orientation. So by using those formulas like square root of gx square plus gy square, for each in the image, I will try to find out for this. For this again, I will try to find out gx and gy, and after this one, I will try to find out magnitude and edge point, and compare this edge magnitude with the threshold value. If this edge magnitude is higher than the threshold value, then I can assign this point to the edge point, so that I can think that point will be in the edge. So this is your algorithm which is used for this one. So robot operator, we will try to use only 2 by 2 matrix. We will try to use only the last I think I have given in this manner. Okay, in this manner, this is your Z1, Z2, Z3, and this is your Z4, Z5, Z6, and this is your Z7, Z8, Z9. So that's why I'm getting Z9 minus Z5. Z9 minus Z5 is in the GX, and if I'm taking here also, this is your in this direction only. So after this, this is your Z1, Z2, Z3, and Z4, Z5, Z6, and Z7, Z8, Z9. So that's why I'm getting Z8 minus Z6. So these are the two operators that I am using in the only 2 by 2 convolution mask is used in the robots operator. So which is used to mainly used to find out the diagonal edges. So that is your edge operators. So we have discussed about this all edges operator, like till now we have discussed about the first order edge operators. Those are private operator and robot operator and Sobel operator. So next topic is template matching mask. So before going to this topic, I will try to show with one example. Is the screen is visible, ma'am? Hello.
Yes, yes, sir.
Okay, ma'am.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
yeah. So this is, I will try to. So here, yeah. So this is I just want to use the I just want to use show how these operators will be there. So for this one I am using this Python code using OpenCV. So in case of this OpenCV, we have a library called Computer Vision 2. So by using this Computer Vision 2, I can do this image processing task. So here I am importing these libraries. After this one, I will try to read this particular image. I will just try to read one image, like I just want to take this Sudoku image. So this is your image. I will try to apply all the operators on this particular image. So this is your image. So on this image, I just want to read that particular image. So I will use this method. ImRead method is there. I will try to read that particular image. Once that image is read, then I will try to apply this Sobel operator. So in case of this Sobel operator, there is a more weightage to the second two. So this is I'm after reading that image, I am placing in the image data original. For this image data original, I will try to apply the Sobel operator. That is your GX. So that is this is your GX. So Sobel operator in the X direction. So I am using this X value. I am considering in case of this X direction, I will consider the Y value is 0 and X is 1, and the kernel size is I am using this 5 by 5 matrix. I can use 3 by 3 or anything. So here I am using 5 by 5. And Sobel Y. So I will try to apply both these Sobel X and GX and GY. So GX and GY, and after applying this one, I will try to show this one. So after this one, this is your original image, and after applying this in the X direction, that is Sobel X operator, then I am getting the edges and most of the X values X direction. Okay, whatever the edges that are there in the X direction, those are point out clearly. And if I am using this Y operator, Sobel Y operator, then I am getting this here like this. I am getting in the Y direction, edges are more clear in case of this Sobel Y. Once after doing this Sobel X and Sobel Y, what is the magnitude of this one? What is the formula? Square root of gx square plus gy square. Otherwise, what is the simple formula is just adding this gx and gy. So I am using the same concept like Sobel edge is nothing but I am adding just x and y. So that is gx plus gy. After this one, I will try to execute this one. Then I am after adding this one, I will try to find out both the edges. So by using this Sobel operator, I will try to find out the edges from this image. And if I am using this private operator, so what is the private operator? That is 1 0 minus 1, 1 0 minus 1 and 1 0 minus 1. This is your x direction. That is in the x direction. And in the y direction, that is minus 1 0 1, minus 1 0 1, minus 1 0 1. So whatever the operator that I am using, the same operator I am placed in the kernel x. And now I am applying this private operator in the x direction. So for this image, I am applying the kernel x. For the original image, I am applying the kernel x. And if you want to find out this private operator in the y direction, I am applying this kernel y. Once that both are finding, then I will try to add these two in the gx plus gy. That is your magnitude. So if I am applying this private operator, then I will show this image original and private x and private y. So in case of this private x, when compared with Sobel operator, it is somewhat good when compared with this one. It is mostly finding removing that particular noise. it is removing that particular some noise, and it is finding out in the x direction and it is finding out in the y direction, and after this one it is trying to add both x and y, so it is also trying to find out the edges. And in case of Robert operator, we will try to use only 2 by 2 kernel, that is -1 0 0 1, which is used to find out the diagonal. Mostly Robert operator is used to find out the diagonal edges. It is giving more importance to the diagonal edges. So after applying this kernel x and kernel y, and I am again using this, I just want to find out the edges in this both x direction and y direction. So this is your, I will try to show the same image using this robot operator. So in case of this robot operator, which is giving more clear, more it is more somewhat very good when compared with both operators. Even in the private operator and this Sobel operator also, which is giving very good output when compared with both. So this is in the, but it is not giving that much good output in case of combining. Whenever I combine both the images like robot x and robot y, it is not giving the good output. It is giving only in the x direction. Okay, so these are the three operators we have discussed in the today's class.